All right, so we are going to start right now. I believe you have already told them on the platform that we are starting. And if they are not here, then, I mean, they have themselves to blame. Sorry, let me get my. Okay, so let's go on. Let's go on and do what we have to do. I believe everybody is here because some are not too new and some are pretty new, like Aisha that just spoke to us. Some have even been here. I won't even be surprised if you've been in RoyalQ for 1 year and yet you are still trying to understand your business, your back office, what RoyalQ is all about. Why do I press where they tell me to press? What are they even doing? It's not strange. It's not strange because honestly speaking, what you don't know, you don't know. But the truth is, what you don't know, you then learn. And I'm glad that we are learning tonight. I believe that at the end of this meeting, we will be able to say, yes, I'm no longer where I was before the meeting. But let somebody also be ready to be able to share the screen so that we can look at everything together. Because if I share my screen for you, you are likely to miss out what it is. It's not going to be only one person that will share screen all through the meeting. We will pass it round. A number of us will do the sharing. So if you want to share your screen, your RoyalQ, because that's actually what we want to do. We want to see the back office, we want to take us around and let everybody, please don't talk if you are not to talk. If you want to talk, the meeting has started, just raise up your hand so that you can be called to talk. I don't want to have to mute everyone because the number here is not so large. So we should be able to do things in an orderly manner. Okay? So if you want to share your screen, let us know. Just raise up your hand virtually and you just put it in the chat box. Then I will be there to see and I will let you share your screen. Good afternoon to those who are saying good afternoon in the chat room. If you want to share your screen, please raise up your hand or let us know in the chat box. You can, all right. The person who said he or she can, please go ahead and share. Mutsi, you will share next. I think Professor Makinde said she can in the chat room. So I'm going to make you a co-host now so that you'll be able to share your screen. Yes. Also, Mutsi wants to share her screen. So you two, you will be made a co-host. Professor Makinde, you have the first call. Please go ahead and share your screen. Professor Makinde, you are a co-host, so I believe you can share your screen.
Oh, I am trying to share my screen.
Do you know how to do it?
I think I will click on share and I'll click on share. So So I think I have to click on screen.
Yes. But we are not even seeing that you are sharing at all. When you click on share and then you are going to your screen, we should be able to see that you are sharing your screen.
Oh, I have already clicked on share.
Okay, let's try Mutsi so that we are not wasting so much of time. Mutsi, can you share your screen, please? You are a co-host because when we do it ourselves, it becomes easier when I'm not there to do it for us. Mutsi, are you with us or you are against us?
I'm sorry, I didn't even know I was muted all the way. I'm sorry, ma. So I've clicked on share. I've clicked on screen. I don't know why it's not coming up. I'm coming. Let me do it again. I click on.
I think what you can do is to join
share.
with another device and then I share. So maybe you will need to go and learn all by yourself on how to do this. Because like I said, I don't really have so much of time. I would have loved for one of you to share so that you can see how you are navigating through.
I'm coming. Ma, can you say anything now?
I cannot see you. Maybe other people are seeing.
We can't see.
And this is why I don't really want to join with another device because I will be echoing.
Ma, please, can you put me through again on how to share?
Aisha Abubakar, you have your hands up. Talk to us. Do you want to share your screen?
Yes, I don't mind.
But do you know how to do it? Because it's not the lesson. It's not to teach people how to share screen.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know how to do it. But I can.
All right, so you will need to live with this because I will need to join with my other device and it's going to echo into your ear. And that's okay. I believe you can see my screen right now.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. That's what it is. Two devices side by side. It's going to be echoing to you. All right, so this is a RoyalQ. Is this how yours is?
Yes.
Everybody, if your own RoyalQ is like what you are saying, please put one in the chat box. One, I said, I didn't say yet. One. If your RoyalQ interface is like what you are saying, please put one in the chat box. All right, so we are good to go. So when you want to enter RoyalQ at all, let me know if you can still hear me. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So when you want to do anything on your RoyalQ, as you are signed on. And I want everybody to put on their RoyalQ as we go along. All right?
Okay.
Up to the left of the screen, most likely you will see the Binance logo.
Yes.
There's an arrow in front of it.
Yes.
Click on that arrow. Then you will see all the other exchanges that you can link your RoyalQ robot to. Can you see?
Yes.
So this is why we normally say you can bind to Binance, HTX. HTX is also OB, Indept, Kraken, Bybit, OKX, KuCoin, Mexi. Some people call this MEXC, but I like to call it Mexi. It's actually my favorite exchange. I love the coins and the Bybit as well. I use Binance, I use Bybit, and I use Mexi. Recently, Gate.io was added. So these are all the exchanges you can link your RoyalQ robots to. Okay? On that same line, you will see something like a shield. Like a shield. On mine that you are seeing on the screen, there is a red dot on it. This just means that I have a notification there. This is where you see your login history. Because for me, for instance, I don't log in only on one phone. It's only on my laptop. And that's why, unfortunately, I can't even share on the laptop. And I have to share on another device. It's only on my laptop that I do not have my RoyalQ. Because there are so many fake RoyalQ robots there, apps online, and I don't want that. So I just want to stick to my phones. So these are all the login of today. You can see 1104, 1105. So you can just read all. You can still read all, and then that red thing is off. Just beside that shield, you also have a bell. This is where you get the news. You can have the system messages when you are trading, whether your robot has stopped trading because you don't have fuel fee and all of that. You can also have your order messages. There are new sell. You can see I have new sell on ad, USDT, because now this is a very good news for us to even show. Because some people will come on the platform and say, yes, they said, I have a new sell, but the profit rate is 0%. You can see on this, my ad now, it has been selling at 0%. Profit rate 0%. Profit rate 0%. Somebody should please note that, and you can ask a question after. Why is it profit rate 0%? Did they not say that RoyalQ doesn't sell at a loss? There is always in profit. But I want us to quickly do this sharing so that this echoing can be put off. So please put it down during question and answer. I will answer that. Now, when you also look at all these things scrolling, these are the announcements as well, the advertisements, what is happening in RoyalQ. Sometimes it's good to stop by and see all those rolling stuff. Just below the rolling thing, you can also see some news rolling, and the bell is there. Take your time also once in a while to look at them. Now, There are these three parallel lines. Can we all see the three parallel lines?
Yes.
Okay. So those three parallel lines, if you click on them, is a good place to always go before you trade any coin. Okay? Because you have the latest announcements removing PIXFI from Bybit futures trading for those who trade futures. Removing POX from Mexi sports trading. We are trading sports in RoyalQ. You see now, if they have removed POX from Mexi and you have not read anything here to see what has been removed and what has been added, you can make a mistake and then you jump into coins that will soon be removed. If you do not understand what we mean by removing and all of that, you can also put that down as a question. But once in a while, the exchanges remove certain coins because of certain things they have done wrongly. And so RoyalQ will need also to remove them. Once the exchanges delist them, RoyalQ will remove them. So you have new listings, new spot trading pairs. I hope you also know that we trade in pairs in RoyalQ. Is one coin against USDT, a coin against USDC, and so on and so forth. But the commonest pair is the pair of USDT. So when you have new listings, you also have them under announcement. Removal notice, we've talked about that under the general announcement. So you can see, dear RoyalQ users, we have added cryptocurrency pairs for spot trading on the following exchanges. So there are new things under HTX, there are new pairs under Bybit, there are new pairs under OKX exchanges. I hope we understand it up to that stage.
Yes.
Okay. So under the lines, under those three lines, you have what is called API binding. I'm sure you must have been familiar with API binding for you to be a member, because you have already done your API binding to at least one exchange. That's why you are here. Is anybody here who hasn't done the binding, the API binding? Please put no in the chat box if you have not done your API binding, because you might have done your activation and inadvertently left your API binding out. If that is your case, you are so wrong, because you cannot trade without binding. And the whole essence of your activation is so that you can trade and make profit. In fact, daily profit, not just to make profit, because it is possible in RoyalQ. Next to API binding is revenue details. Revenue details. Revenue details means how much you have made all through in that particular trade. Either you are doing sports or you are doing future. Okay? So today is the 6th in Singapore. I have not made anything for today, but you can see this is where you have your records, you have profit analysis on this particular account. This is actually, don't let me say I've not made anything today, because this is not my regular trading account. I trade with my Mexi and Bybit because I prefer those coins. This is my Binance account, and I hardly trade with this, except if those coins that I want to analyze are not in Mexi or Bybit, because I'm saying this because somebody was also asking me, somebody from that group was asking me why I prefer Mexi. If you still want to know, although I gave the reason, you can also ask during question and answer time. This is not my regular exchange. I don't really like Binance. It's too conservative for my trading. And for some other reasons, because I'm trying to build a team as well. Let me even explain to you. So I have many accounts in RoyalQ because I'm trying to build a team. You can also take a cue from that. There isn't anything wrong in my explaining that. So this Binance account is the one that is joined to my upline. So I can say this is my first account. I have 5 accounts in RoyalQ. 3 not active. Okay, no, 2 not active. 1, this Binance barely active because sometimes I still trade here. But 2, the Bybit and the Mexi, very active. So this is the Apex account. The other accounts are signed under this. So what I'm trying to do when I sign people under the ones that are under this is that I'm building those ones to enable this particular account to scale up. The one that is after it to scale up. I hope we all understand that. And so when I trade with all those accounts as well, I make my profits, and the next one to the account I'm trading with also will be shared part of my profits. I hope you know that when you are trading, some of your profits is being shared in the fuel fees to your uplines. So in this case, some of my accounts will be the uplines of the others. I hope you all got that, my digression. So that's what this RoyalQ is there and is not so active. Then you have the word detail, you have your assets. Assets is where the money you are making in RoyalQ goes into. It is different from your revenue details. Your revenue details are just detailed here, but you are not going to see them on RoyalQ. They are kept in your exchanges. So immediately you make that revenue, your money will be added to your exchange with your trading capital. I hope you also understand that. RoyalQ doesn't keep your profits. RoyalQ doesn't keep your money at all. But all those monies you make within RoyalQ, like for instance, if you bring somebody in to the business on your level V1, if you're on V1, you are given $30. It is in your assets that the $30 will be dropped. When your downlines are trading and they are giving you part of their fuel fees as your own reward, the money will be in your assets. And the beautiful thing is that you can withdraw, if that is what you want to do. You can withdraw this money into your exchange wallet, where you can pull it out and sell and do whatever you want to do with this. Then you can see there too that you can also invite friends. The user guide, you see, all this that we are even doing, if you have gone round this your back office, you will have no need for it. Because if you go to your user guide, everything you know or you want to know or you should know is here. You can see the gate.io that has just been added. How to do the API binding is there. How to share profit records is there. These are newly added stuffs. Your profit, you can share it right from the RoyalQ right now. Your quantitative trading setup tutorial, how to do your setup is there. Introduction to KDJ indicator is there. Indicators are what we use in RoyalQ or in trading generally to show the direction of trades. So when you want to know which direction a trade is going, you use an indicator. There's one called KDJ. There's another one called RSI. There's another one called MACD. You see? So everything is there. If we take time to go through our dashboard, it will really serve us a good dealing. But because we don't take our time to do that, I hope after today we'll change and then we can do the needful. So this is the user guide, very helpful. Okay? Now, mentor. If you want a mentor, not that even if you want, you need a mentor. And you need to go after somebody to be your mentor. Well, not only in RoyalQ, I'm a mentor, both nationally and internationally. It's not that I'm advertising to you now. I just want to tell you something about mentorship. It is the mentees that should warm up to mentors. You see something good in somebody and you want to own it. You want to know how this person gets to this level. Then you have to warm up to that person and ask to be mentored. Okay? So this is where you search for mentors. If you know anybody you want to be your mentor, approach that person. The person will give you his or her name. So all these ones now that we are just scattered like sheep without a shepherd, it is the job of the mentor. Especially if you're upline, actually it's the job of your upline. But I understand also that some uplines have not even found their fittings before they start recruiting people. It happens, and we can't blame them. They are also supposed to share the good opportunity. So your upline, because he or she hasn't found our footings, may not be able to put you through well. You can approach your grand upline. Grand upline is too busy, or in some instances, grand upline had even left the business. It also happens. Then you need a mentor. Either you have an upline or you don't have a working one. You need and you can come here. Even if you don't know anybody, you can approach. You can look at people's bio and decide to choose. But I will advise that you study somebody, look at what this person is doing, and if you think this kind of human being can mentor me, then you can go ahead and approach the person. But mentorship can only be done from people who have scaled up. Those who are from from levels 2, V2 upwards. A V1 member cannot be a mentor, unfortunately, no matter what this V1 knows. So you have to approach a V2 and above. But even if you know a V1 that has what you need, you can still do the mentorship with this V1 unofficially. It only means that this person will not be called your mentor on RoyalQ at that. But RoyalQ expects you to pick a mentor and name such person like that. All you need to do is to type the nickname, or the name of the person. This one is here by default because this is my own Flourishing K. Okay, so that is about mentorship. Then you have more. so many other things. We talk about membership, quantitative, user benefits, what you stand to gain, as a member. They are all here. And I love the fact that you are trying to know what you need to know, because it's only when you know that you can call in people confidently. And when you call in people confidently, you are paid a lot. Like I mean, $30 is not a joke now. So you can see if you make like $30 in 10 places in a month, that's a lot. That's $300. Multiply 300 by 1,780. That's a lot of money. So try and grasp this business just as you are trying to, so that you will be able to confidently talk to people about it, and then you bring more people to your structure. Okay? And you can see what I'm doing. All of you here, most of you are not even in my structure, because the very first thing I do for my own members is what we are trying to do now. Immediately you are coming in, we try and take you around the business so that you are not at a loss. So you can see most of you are not likely to be in my structure. So try as much as possible to also do this for people along the line, especially those you have brought into the business. Don't let them suffer what you have suffered, because that's not the right way. Then there are some people we call circle owners. Because, when you are being told about RoyalQ, I'm sure you will have been told that you can even put your money there and the money will be working for you and all of that. You don't need to trade yourself. This is what this means, because you can sync to other people's strategies. But I don't advise anybody to do this any longer. When I started in 2021, this was what I did, because I didn't really have time. I didn't pay attention. Let me not even say I didn't have time, because you will always have time for what is important to you. At that time, I was busy with other things, and I wasn't really forthcoming with RoyalQ. So I just think to somebody's strategy, you will make money, but in trickles. And most of the time, they put you in cycles. And for me, cycle trading is not the best, because you must have heard it many times. We do not control the market. And you don't do whatever you like with the market you are not in control of. When you are trading in cycle, there are two ways you can trade. Either cycle or one shot. Okay? So when you are trading a cycle, what you are telling the robot to do is that when you sell what you are selling, go back. Go and buy more. Go back again, buy more. Just be going back with my profits and be buying more and be trading and be buying more. In this case, it is very risky, because especially when you are not in a bullish market. When the market is bearish, that is, the prices are just southward, or when it's sideways, when it's not going up or down, then it can be very risky trading in cycle, because you do not control the market and anything can happen. So when the market is even going down, the RoyalQ bot keeps buying, because you have put it in cycle. So this is why, linking to people's strategy is not really what I will advise. But some people like to trade in cycle. Once you can master it, whatever you can master, then you can do. But if you know that it's not, you don't even know much, just follow whoever is leading you. Because the market can change the trends. The trends can just be changed. And you are likely to overtrade. If you are trading a cycle, you remember you've already put it on, just go back, buy, go back, buy, especially if you don't know when to put the stop loss or to come out of the market. So I would advocate one shot. If you overtrade a coin, if you put it in cycle and that coin keeps trading the same type of coin several times over, I just have to emphasize this. The trend can change, or whatever surrounds them can change, and then you may not be trading in so much of a profit. Cycle goes on and on and on, and it's quite risky. For one shot, it sells off, give you your profits, and then stop until you say start again. So that's what that is. That's why these days we don't really put people on cycle trades anymore. We don't sink people to cycle owners anymore. My counselor is the person that assigns me on. So your counselor is automatic, but your mentor, you can change. You can choose rather. Then you also have price alerts. You can set your price alert if you want, but I won't expect you to do all of this because these are not what you need right now. Now let's go to something that is very interesting. To the right side of the device, you will see mine. I want us to start from this. If I click on mine, you can see that is me in this account. This is my picture, and that is my name. If your own is still in ABCIKY, type 2 in the chat box. Let's quickly do something. Because I like to do that for my team people, and I can as well just do it for you now. I hope we are all opening our RoyalQ and we are following, because this is where I'm going to know whether you are doing that or not.
Yes.
In your RoyalQ, if your name is still the name RoyalQ gave you, put 2 in the chat room. I hope you all know how I got here.
Yes.
If you do not know how I got here, raise up your hand so that I can go back. Mutsi, you did not know how I got here?
Man.
Okay. Let me go back. I'm going to sign back into RoyalQ. So we are starting from the beginning. At least you know how to get into your RoyalQ. So this is RoyalQ interface. Sorry about the echoing. You people cause this because you don't know how to share your screen. So I'm sharing and I'm turning on 2 devices. Okay, so you can see at the lower part of your device, you can see home, you see strategy, you see cycle, you see news. The last thing is mine. If you have seen mine, please let me know in the chat room. Have you seen mine?
Yes.
Click on mine. And I'm not talking to Muti alone. I'm talking to everyone. Click on mine. On top of that mine, you can see your name. Most of you will still be in ABCRQQYYOYY. Is that correct? I want you to give yourself your name now. We want to do baptism, so you leave behind the name RQQYROSS. There is an arrow in front of your name. Okay? Click on that arrow, just as I clicked on mine. Can you see where nickname is?
Yes.
Okay? Now, click on that nickname and then change your username. I'm okay with my Flourishing K as my username, so I'm not changing it. But for you, click on that change username and put the name you like. When you are done with doing that, click on Show. This is a way of identifying your group members. And as a matter of fact, is it not better that I'm Flourishing K on this account rather than bearing A, B, C, D, E, F? So I prefer that. Maybe because I'm into branding, I like to be properly branded. So when you are done with changing your username, you click on Show. The name of your counselor will be there. Your email is bound. That's just the only thing I need you to change. You can also change your avatar. You can see my own picture there. You can click on that round figureless thing in your own, and then you choose a picture from your phone. In this RoyalQ, I'm back on this page, and I hope we understood that. Did we understand that?
Yes.
It's only Muti that is answering. No?
Yes, we are all answering. We don't want to unmute ourselves so that it will not be disturbing the lecture.
How do you know that we are all answering? Are you in their houses? If you don't want to disturb the class, it's okay not to unmute yourself. Just use the chat box. I'm looking at the chat box. That's why I said it's only Muti that is answering. And there's no way you know that they are answering. You are not in their different mouths. Okay, so thank God you have understood that. It's a good way to start. In your RoyalQ, everything is there for you that you can touch, except that golden yellow place. Don't click on cancel. Oh. That's when your RoyalQ bot will expire. If you cancel, I've never canceled before, so I don't know what can happen. No. I always take instructions and I stay by them. So I experiment because I'm a scientist on one side, but there are some things I don't experiment with. So please don't click cancel because that means canceling your account. Now, user benefits, we've looked at that. Assets, I've talked about that. API binding, I've also talked about that. Then team, those who are in your team. Sorry, I need to quickly change my source of internet I was unstable. Am I back? Am I back?
Yes, ma, you are, ma.
Okay, but my screen is changing. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I was being told that my internet was unstable, so I just changed to MTN. All right, so we have already talked about. Aisha, please mute yourself.
Sorry?
Mute yourself. We
I'm
can
not the
hear
one
what you
talking.
are telling people.
I'm not the one talking.
You are talking.
I'm
Mute
not
yourself.
the one talking.
You are not the one talking, but it's coming from your background. So you need to mute yourself.
I'm sorry, I'm the
And if
only
you are
one.
not able to do that, then we can put you in the waiting room.
I'm sorry, I'm the only one in the room. I'm not the one. It's somebody there.
Okay, you are not talking.
Okay, you are
Nobody
not
is with
talking.
you.
Nobody is with you. Can you please mute yourself?
You are
You are not the one presenting.
Thank you.
I'm waiting for
I'm
you
waiting
to
for
mute.
you to mute.
Oh,
Mute
sorry.
you from here, but I'm not going to do that. All right, so sorry about that. Please, let's be very cooperative here, because nobody has time like that. So the team is just about your team. When you call people in, that's where you will see your team members. Then your reward details. Your reward details, you can also see there. We've already seen that. Second one, we'll talk about that. Strategy. Please don't confuse my sync strategy with my strategy settings. Strategy settings is one of the things I'm going to dwell on a little bit in this meeting, so that we will understand how we arrive at strategies we use, the settings we use, how people quickly pick trades on the platform, and they are able to execute the trade. While you are still struggling to see where do I put my first buying amount, where do I put my margin calls, where do I put this, where do I put that. We'll dwell on my strategy settings, but please don't confuse it with my sync strategy, because my sync strategy is if you are using those other people's strategies and you are synced to them. But my strategy settings are the settings you put on ahead of your trading. Have I confused you? If you are confused, let me know in the chat box. If you do not understand that, let me know in the chat box so that I can repeat myself. And if you also understand, let me know. Just say yes if you understand, and no if you do not. Okay? I can see people saying yes, yes, yes. So let's go on. Right. The next thing is share. We are coming back to my strategy settings so that I can show you how to put up your trade settings. But I want us to do it from strategy. Now, the share button, when you click on share, that is where you can copy your link. Remember, somebody invited you here. You also need to invite others. So when you click on that arrow, then you can copy. Once you click on that copy sign in front of the alpha https://royalqs.com/ your invitation code. Don't copy only the invitation code, copy the invitation link so that once they click on it, they will be able to get to your structure immediately and then they can sign up. That's it about sharing. Then another very important place, apart from the user guide that we do not know exists here, is the RoyalQ feedback. Now, let's have a look. There are two parts to RoyalQ feedback. You can see the frequently asked questions. You can go through all those. Then the AI, you can ask just straight from this place now, this interface, I can say, what is RoyalQ? But you can be sure that I am asking a robot. This kind of answer it's able to give me. You see that I've been answered. RoyalQ is a trading bot that specializes in assisting users with buying and selling in the cryptocurrency market. It helps users navigate and execute trades in the crypto market. For more detailed information, you can visit the official RoyalQ website. And then it has given me the RoyalQ website. If you have any more questions or need clarifications, feel free to ask. You see what the Bible says now? We do not get because we do not ask. And I'm sure it will also be in the Quran. Because this is the problem. If we don't ask, we are not going to get. Even humanly speaking, part of asking is what we are doing now. We are trying to train ourselves. So this is asking. Now, here I said there are two parts to this interface. The first one I have done now is asking the robot. But if I have specific questions, or the questions that I think I want to interact with human being, you can see feedback. You go to feedback. Just click feedback. You can see. Then it opens this page to you. All the sections you can ask questions about are there. You have I wish I can use my marker, but I don't know how my marker has disappeared just now. I'm not able to see my marker. Anyway, let's go on. I hope you can still see my screen and you are seeing, you understand what I'm saying. When you go to this page, we see trading problem. If the problem you want solved is trading problem, you click on that and you talk to them about it. If it is a problem about your account, you just need to give the feedback and all of that, and then you submit. I've never asked them any question about trading. That's why this page is blank. If I have, it will be there. Then account problem, if you have problem with your account, money flow problem. You see all those people that are collecting money from people and saying they want to help them to trade and whatever. If you have such a person and you want to report, you can come here. So you can report violation. It's there. And then others too, if you want to report any other thing. I hope this is clear. So sometimes when you have issues, before you even start asking anybody, try to solve it yourself with the AI robots or the feedback from RoyalQ. as a company. I hope that is clear. Then the security center, where you can go and delete your account. It's not only deleting the account that is there, but I just need to emphasize that don't delete your account. You can change your password, you can modify your email, your transaction password, and all of that. To be on the safe side, it's good to just be out of this security center, because I'm always fearful of deleting accounts in any business. You may be able to recover your account back, but then it's going to be a long thing. Okay? So, system setting. This is the setting. For instance, for those of us that have many accounts and we may want to use the same phone, you will have to come here, log out, and then go into the other account. So if I want to log out now, I will click here. It shows me the interface to go into, and then I click on whichever one, which of the accounts I want to go into, and then I put my password. I use my finger, so nobody can see my password anyway. So I'm logging in back into that same account. Easy peasy, squeezy lemon. So you can see that understanding RoyalQ business is actually very easy. So we've gone around our back office, we've seen the mine. Now I said I want to show you the settings, your trade setting. Now let's look at strategy setting. When you want to do your strategy setting, okay, this is where you go. You probably want to pick a coin. Okay, let's look at our strategies. The one I said I wanted to show you, the strategy settings. Before we go to picking of coins, how do we pick coins? What do we need to consider before picking a coin? Now, this my strategy settings. I believe we all know how I got here now. Remember, we signed into RoyalQ. Okay? Sorry about this echoing. Then my strategy settings. So sorry, somebody was trying to call in. My strategy setting, not my same strategy. So when you go to my strategy setting, if you do not have any strategy set up, this place is going to show you add new. If you have saved some settings, you will have it just like mine. So you click on plus because we want to put strategy. What is a strategy? Or what is a strategy setting? These are the things that will be considered during a trade. I hope we understand what I'm trying to put across. So you are trying to let the RoyalQ bot know what it should do when it gets to the market. What it should do first, what it should buy first, how it should buy it first, and so on and so forth. So the very first thing you will see is the risk type. When you look at the risk type, if you click on that steady, you will see radical, you will see conservative, and you will see steady. Radical is radical. If you are a radical trader, that is, you just want it like microwave done, you just like to do things fast enough, you can take a lot of risk, then you can put it in radical. It will ask you whether you want it changed to radical. You say sure. If you don't want it, if you want steady, you keep steady. Steady just means in between, going steadily, just as the English word can also be interpreted. In some coins, I trade radically. In some, I trade steady. When the occasion calls for it, I trade conservatively. Okay? But these days, I don't trade conservatively any longer. It's in 2021 that I could attempt all those conservative cycle, whatever. These days, I go radical or steady. Now, the remark just means exactly what strategy you are using. Is it the TGS? That is the top gainer strategy. There are so many strategies, though. There's a training we had for our group on Saturday. If you want to look at other dynamics of trading in RoyalQ, you can ask for it on the platform. My PA will share that recordings with you, because it is not only one way you can trade. As a matter of fact, you trade according to the trend. So you cannot use the same strategy for when the market is bullish. That is when everything is coming up, popping up, and there's a lot of market and all of that. You must have strategy set up for such markets, for such a time. Okay? When the market is sideways, there's a lull, just as we are experiencing now. You have strategies you can use. I believe your uplines should be able to help you with this. If your uplines are not able, at every time, because it's not something I can tell you, put up this strategy, this is what you should be using. Just as I'm telling you now, you can change your strategy. It depends on what you want to do. It depends on the market you are in. You do not use the same strategy to trade a pumping coin that we use to trade a dumping coin. Because, like for me, I trade dumping coins that are in the arrays, in the lowest, or highest lowest rather, in minus so much of figures. I love to trade that, because what it means is that I'll put a lot of margin calls. It will start buying, start climbing up, and by the time it gets up, I will have had a lot of money in the coin. So by the time it's selling off, I'm going to make a lot of profits. So I don't mind waiting until it climbs up. I hope you understand it up to this stage. So this is the strategy setting, where you are telling the robot exactly what it should do. So we are in the remark. So for instance now, if the strategy I want to put up is for IS dumping. Let me not put dumping. Maybe IS low value. That is a coin that is in minus. The minus is highest minus. That's what I want to use this strategy setting for. Then, for such strategy, I like to use very low first buy-in amount. I hope we all understand. Well, let me assume that we don't even understand first buy-in amount. So what first buy-in amount means is how much you are telling your robot to put into the coin at first. It's like when you want to go to the market. Remember what we are doing in RoyalQ is actually average costing. Okay? So we are trying to buy in bits. We are trying to buy in bits. The RoyalQ robot will buy in bits. So that's why we normally say we are doing dollar cost averaging. We are going to average the cost together. When you have $200 as your capital, and I'm going to tell you how I arrive at this $5 or $15 or $100 or $20 in a bit. So this first buying amount just means how much are you telling the robot to buy first? Okay? You have, let's assume we have $100 as our trading capital. We must be able to manage that $100 in so much a way that we will make profits without going to business. Now, remember, we don't control the market. The fact that you have done your averaging well, you've done your budgeting properly, you've set your, doesn't mean that you cannot enter floating loss. But the thing is, your floating loss will be controlled, kind of. It's not a useless floating loss that you entered because you didn't do the needful. Okay? So that would be the difference. So when you want to set up this kind of strategy that I'm talking to you about, we use 15%. And I am not saying by all means use this strategy. Remember, I have told you that you can have many strategies for different types of market. In this type of market that we are now, that is going sideways, to dump today, go down tomorrow. But by the grace of God, now that election is going on, we believe that BTC will pump, and then we can start witnessing some bullish runs. But meanwhile, before then, I use this quite a lot. Now, if we are doing $100 with this kind of strategy, I always advise that you start with 15% of your trading capital. So this means $100 times 15%, which is $15. You can see that I have $15 there. So that would be my first buy-in amount. That is, I'm telling the robot, when you get to the market, the coin that I am telling you to trade for me, buy $15 worth. Don't buy more. So that's what we are saying. Now, you already have your $15 taken out of your 100. That means that, okay, let me even ask, how much do we have left? So that I know that you are all with me. If you have $100 as your trading capital, and we have said use 15, very good, $85. So you have $85 left. This $85 is what we are now going to appropriate accordingly. We are going to share as we go on into what we call margin calls. You see, some people think that trading with margin call is a curse. No, it's actually a blessing. So let's go on to explain all these Sorry about that. When we get to margin calls, I will explain further. Now, open position doubles. What this means is that it also has to do with your margin call. What you are telling the robot here, if you open it, is that when it is buying the call, it should buy a double. When I open the margin call now, I will explain that further. I will come back here and open it, and then you will see what I'm talking about. AI margin call. This AI margin call is good for you if you want to manage your capital. Because what it does is that it controls how the robot buys in the market. It does not allow the robot to just buy with your money anyhow. But the low side of it is that it keeps the RoyalQ robot longer in the market. That's just what it means. It controls the robots, but you know, in controlling it not to spend your money, when it should release money, it's saying no, don't release money. In that instance, it will buy, it will still buy, but this AI robot inside will be sure that it's buying appropriately, which is good in a way, but it will keep you for a longer time in the market. But it will prevent from spending your money anyhow. Okay? So, margin call limits. So if you don't want to do that, you can switch it up. You can turn it off. It's just with a touch. It's just with a touch. If you want to turn it on, it's also with a touch. The open position double too is also with a touch. Okay, so let's assume that we want to put the two of them off for this trade. But for this kind of strategy, your AI margin call should be on because you are taking the lowest coin, the lowest valued coin. So before it grows up, it's going to buy the margin calls a number of times, and we have to be able to manage what we have. So now remember, we have $85 left. Margin call limit means how many times you want this robot to buy when the prices drop. So in crypto trading, what is very, very key is volatility. It is constant, it is normal. When it is not volatile, it is not crypto. So what do I mean by volatility? Prices can go up, it can go down. We do not control the market, so we cannot hold any coin from going up or from going down. What we can do is to try as much as possible to protect ourselves. And the protection can be done by having margin calls. If you do not have margin calls, you are exposed to every and everything that can happen in the market. I hope you are understanding margin calls now. So
Yes.
we want to set up how many margin calls, how many times can this robot buy more when or if the prices drop. I will be using you will need to divide your balance with your first buying amount. Your first buying amount is $15. You have $85 left. So if you divide 85 by 15, you get about six times. So you put 6 there. That is the number of times that your robots can buy from your balance.
If you are using $15
as your first buying amount. Okay, but for me, I can decide that I want to use $5 because this coin is already down. And before I come into profit, it is going to come all the way from down to up. So I don't have anything to lose. It will be buying the margin calls. To be buying the margin calls, and I'll be having more money in the coin. And then I will have more margin calls. The more margin calls you have actually in a bearish market is the opposite of bullish. Bearish means that it is not so good. The volume is not pumping, and the prices are not so good. So for instance, if we decide to use $5 as our first buying amount, this means that we will have $95 left. If we divide $95 by 5, we will have 19 margin calls. So you bought the robots with your money. I always tell my group people, you can manipulate the robots as you want. Ordinarily, this strategy says use 15% of your capital as the first buying amount. But I looked at myself. I want to trade with $5 only. Even if I have $500 to trade this one coin, I can decide to still use $5 because it is highest low value coin that I want to trade. I hope we are getting what I'm saying. If I want to trade a pumping coin, my outlook will be different. I'll probably pick a first buying amount that is more than this. Of course, I will even pick that strategy is different. I just want us to understand that you set your strategy the way that is conducive to you. If you are using $1,000, you may be looking at using a bigger first buying amount. If you are using $5,000, you can use I hope you know you can use $5,000 to trade a coin. The more money you have as your trading capital in a coin, especially a coin that you have analyzed and you know where you are going, the more your profit. So let's go on. If we decide to go by what this strategy says, use $15, then we have 6 margin calls. Then your whole position take profit ratio is like the opposite of margin call limit. If I want to just talk about it literally, because in margin call, you are making provision for when the prices drop. In your own position take profit ratio, you are making provision for when it goes up. That is your profit. I hope we are following. If you are following, put F in the chat box. If you are following, put F in the chat box. If you are following and you are understanding what we are saying, put F in the chat box. Now, remember we talked about volatility. And we said if it's not volatile, then it is not crypto. That's what we are just discussing here. So when it is volatile, it can go up, it can go down. So we are trying to protect ourselves both ways. If it goes up, I'll take my profit at 1.3. But for this strategy, of the highest low value, once it is less than -6, when it's less than -6%, we are going to see those coins now. You will understand what I'm saying better. For instance, some coins can be at -12%. -12%. Some can even be worse than that. Okay? When I pick such coins, once it is more than -6, I put my all position take profit ratio at 3%. But if it is lower than -6%, that is, if it is like -4, -5, -2, -1, and I like the coin, I want to pick it, I can decide to just take maybe 2%. Remember, we are building this on analysis that have been done over time, and it has been established that you can take your profit like this. But these days, and I'm talking to you about this because I consider that I'm talking to newbies who probably have not known how to do their technical analysis. Okay? So you can still pick trades in this way. Just go to the lowest at the highest low coin. Pick one that catches your fancy. But you can also go and read about the surrounding news around that coin before you pick it. That's not too difficult to do. You can get news on your exchanges, Binance, KuCoin, Mexi. You can even get news online. You can also get news. We've shown you where to get news also on RoyalQ. Get news around such coins you want to pick. Once it is more than -6 downward, you can take 3%. You can decide to also take 1%. It's up to you. It depends on your greed appetite and your fear level. So if it is less than 6, so let's just come in between and say we are leaving this at 2%. Now, this all position take profit called back. Please excuse me 1 second. It just took like, yeah. Let's tell them to put on the table. Yes. All right, so let's go on. NEPA has done their worst, or is it their best? This is Nigeria, or will I say this is Africa? God will help us just as we help ourselves. Because most of the things going wrong in the country are actually caused by us. But we have a way of shifting everything to the government. Where are we? Who can remind me where I was? So I know that you are following.
We are still on hold position, take profits. So you have told us that if the coin has a higher negative, like -6, -7 upward, we can take about 3%. But if
You
it is
can
like
take about
-1
how
to
many percent?
3%.
Okay.
And if it is like -1 to -5, we can take 2%, depending on.
Okay, or lower, depending on your greed, appetite. So, Okay. So this means that when RoyalQ sells, it gives you 3%. It gives you the percentage you have picked. Okay? Now, what is next is the all position take profit call back. Normally, in this strategy, we put it at 0.01. 0.01. And I'll tell you what that means. What I'm telling the robot to do is that when market rises up, remember, if now we are leaving this at 2% to be conservative. So what we are saying when we put the old position take profit call back at 0.01 is that robot, when market rises up by 2.01% or by 2%, and it comes down by 0.1. If we put it at 0.1, if you have 0.1, whatever you put here, like right now, this is 0.3. So what we are telling the robot to do in this instance is that when market rises up by the percentage of the profit we have taken, which is 2%, and it comes down by 0.3, sell off. Because the robot has a way of going further than you have sent it in profit taking. That's why you see that you set your robot to take profit at maybe 5%, and it's giving you 100%. If it's a pumping coin, can give you 55%, can give you 35%. It can just pump on. So because it didn't come down by any percentage, that's why it keeps going up until it gets to the apex of the pumping, and then it delivers the profits for you. So that's just what that old position take profit. Like I said, all these settings are just to protect us, to give the robot a cue on where to go, what to do, and what not to do. So what that means in essence, normally I like putting mine at 0.1 or 0.01 for this place. Like I said, this robot is yours. You bought it with your money, and you have the right to manipulate it the way you want. Because if I put it at 0.3, this can be too late. But what I'm telling the robot to do in essence is that when the market rises by 2% and it drops by 0.3 is when you should sell. That's too far. Unlike if I say when it drops by 0.01, sell. That means that when it drops, barely dropping, just sell. So I don't miss out my profit percentage as I want it. I hope we understand this.
Yes.
Okay? Do we get that?
Yes.
Okay. So I like putting this to 0.01 or 0.1 most of the time. This thing has been coming all the way, so 0.01 can just be fair enough. Now let's now go to margin configuration. This is the most important part of your trading, because if you don't make allowance for margin configuration, you will stay long in the market. That's where you will now say you have floating losses. Okay? For this strategy setting, I will normally put my first call. Okay, so let me explain this. Margin configuration. We've already talked about that. What that means is you are trying to protect yourself. You are telling the robot that when the market goes against me, please buy more. so that we can do this dollar cost averaging that they said you are doing, and then I will be coming up the present price, the current price and the average price will level up, and I can reach my profit level faster. So for this first margin call, for this strategy, the one you are seeing on the left side of the screen is what is called margin call drop. And what this means is the percentages that you are projecting, that when the market drops in that percentage, the robot should buy. So the very first one, we can say, if the market drops by 0.22%, buy some more. How much more is it going to buy? That is what you are seeing on the other side, multiple buy-in ratio. Okay, so now let's quickly go back a little bit and see this. If you put this open position doubled on, now let's go and see the effect on our margin configuration. You can see the multiple buy-in ratio will be in multiples. 2 times, 4 times, 8 times, 16 times. You can see that it's doubling from 2 to 4 to 8 to 16. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 16 times 2 32, 32 times 2 64. If we are trading with $100, do we have this kind of money? Please let me see your answers in the chat box. Because we say we want to budget for this trading. And the number of times we are going to buy that our first buying amount is what we have as multiple buy-in ratio. The time that it will drop, the percentages by which the coin drops and it buys that you want to tell the robots is the one on the left, the margin call drop. The multiple buy-in ratio is the money. That's where your money is. This is where you really need to appropriate properly what you want to spend. Our first buying amount is $15. We have $100 as the trading capital for this particular trade. So our margin configuration has to be configured accordingly if we do not want to spend the whole life in the market. Okay? So we want to say the first call, the margin call drop. We want to say if the coin drops by 0.22% by 1 time, because we've already divided our $85 by our 15 and we got our answer. Are you following?
Yes.
Yes, we are following.
We can say second call. If it drops by another 0.4, buy another 1 time. If it drops by another 0.5, buy 1 more time. Then this one, let's leave everything, maybe 0.5. And then if we see that this one is going to be like a coin that may be long, we can change that to 1. And then next, we say maybe 1.5. We have given some percentages to this. We are protected, kind of. This first call can be 3.5%. That when it drops by 3.5%, buy more. Can be 3.5%, because you need to look at the volatility of the coin you want to trade. I hope we are understanding this. So,
Yes.
we can say 0.5, I put it at 0.22 before, the next one 0.33, then 0.4, then 0.5, you know. But this side, this multiple buying ratio side is very important, because sometimes when you are trading and you have already gone to buy 2 times, buy 4 times, and you don't have the money, the robot will stop picking the margin calls. And then you start saying that your robot has stopped picking the margin calls. The margin calls is switched off. So it has to be according to your calculations. So now we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we multiply our 6 by the amount we have, you will see that they tally. If you also add your first buying amount, the very first one that you have sent the robot to buy, if you add it to it, then you are good to go. Don't leave this page without clicking on Show. If you do not click on Show, all that you have done will not be saved. Do you want us to try that? Let me leave it now. You can see what we have put here, because we are not trading any coin. I'm just using it to show you, to train in how to do this. And I hope we have understood it to this level. But do not leave this page at all without clicking your Show. If you do not click on Show, it will revert to what was there. Let's try that. Now, we come back there. You can see it has gone back to what I had there as a default, 3.54, and a multiple buying ratio of 2 times, because the open position doubled is switched on. Okay? I hope we got that right. So make sure you click on Show every time you are doing that. Do we understand it up to this level?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
No.
So that is that for your management of your money. Now, let's quickly look at distributed. I'll come back to buy in callback. I'll come back to buy in callback, but I want to, because distributed and take profit allocation is equally related to margin calls. So in RoyalQ, when you have your positions, this margin call, when you look at it, the first call, the second call, and all of that, they are there. But in RoyalQ, the very first 4 positions are sold together. They are sold together. When the RoyalQ robot goes to the market, it buys the first position, second position, third position to the 4th position. Then it sells them together. The remaining positions in your RoyalQ margin calls, the remaining positions are normally sold individually. I hope we are getting that and we are not confused. Your margin call limit can have many limits, and you can also have one limit if that is what you want. But like I've explained to you, it's good for you to have many margin calls. So in this one now, we have 6 margin calls. When you look at this, your distributed and take profit allocation, you will see where it will start from. Can you see? It has started from the fifth call. Fifth, we call them sub positions, because the very first four are sold together. When they are sold together, RoyalQ gives you the profits on that together. From the fifth position to whatever position you now have, because in RoyalQ you can have up to, I think, 999 margin calls. So, to whatever level your margin calls are, this is where you will now see how they will be sold. And the default is that the profit is given back to you at 1.3%. That's what you are seeing in front. These positions are sold at a profit of 1.3%. So, what is there now is that these positions will be sold first. Before the first four, that you want to take the profit at 2%. These are called sub-sales. Please give me a 1 in the chat box if you understand what I'm saying. If you understand what I'm saying, please give me a 1 in the chat box. I've seen only one. Okay, Aisha said not understood. Tell me what you have not understood so that I can start from there.
Okay, I think it's the whole option. Sorry, it's not clear.
The whole what?
The option.
Do you also have two devices on at your end?
No.
Maybe it's mine that is echoing like this, because I can hardly hear what you are saying.
Oh, okay. So I think let me just type.
Please. I'm not saying what you are typing. It's not understood that I can see.
Yes, I'm typing it.
Okay. Do we all then understand what we have been saying? Because only Aisha that has said she doesn't understand. So if you do not understand, when you are typing, please type in one post. Because margin configuration isn't clear. What is not clear there? Mutsi, you can unmute yourself and talk to me.
Imagine I'm trying to go back to my own. The margin comes like mine. What the setting I have is high.
Okay, please type. You are echoing.
Okay, can you hear me now, ma?
I can hear now.
Okay, the margin, like mine, the margin configuration I am having is like 3.5%, 8, 10, 128. That's 128.
But this is what I just explained. That is wrong, because your margin configuration should be according to your trading capital. Do you get it?
Yes, ma. Okay, so supposed to be according to my own.
Because what you are saying, let me explain. Let's go back to margin configuration. Aisha too said distribution take profit allocation The whole option. What's the meaning of whole option? I don't understand the whole option. Aisha, please explain yourself. The whole option, please. I don't understand that. But if you say distribution and take profit allocation, it's not understood, I can understand that. But the whole option, please be clearer.
Okay, ma, yes, that's what I meant to say. That the whole distributed and take profit allocation, it's not clear.
Distributed and take profit allocation.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Although we don't really have so much time again, we have like 6 minutes, but I'll try my best to explain this so that maybe some other time we'll come back to what we have not finished. Because I have another meeting for 7 o'clock. I can excuse myself for like 5 minutes, but I won't be able to take more than 5 minutes of their time.
Okay.
It's my mentee's official
thank
now,
you,
not RoyalQ mentee. Okay, now let's go back to margin configuration, because it's very important that we understand margin configuration. From margin configuration, we'll come back to distributed and take profit allocation because they are kind of linked. Margin configuration is the way you allocate your money. The money you have, your trading capital. Okay? So your trading capital is $100. Or can somebody tell me what his or our trading capital is? Let's work with that.
Okay, like mine is 500 and I removed 120 for the bot.
That's not part of your capital. The money you remove for the bot is for the bot. Your fuel fee has been taken off. So in your exchange now, what do you have reflecting as what you can trade with? This is why you should be able to share your screen.
359. I think 300.
Okay, so you have $359.
Yes.
Let's say you have $350. So let's go back. You have $350. Multiply that by 15% as your first buying amount. $350 multiply by 15%. How much is that?
I have.
Are you still there?
Sorry, 52.5.
Okay. So let's choose $50. You want to trade, because I will also advise that you don't overtrade. If I open my very first RoyalQ trading view for you, the trading the strategy page for you, you will put your hands on your head because the history will still be there. I overtraded and I know the lows of it. You will be tempted to overtrade. What is overtrading? Some people are saying, hey, CKNL is pumping. Take 10%, take 20%, take 100%. You have $50 left in as your capital. You will jump into it. You go and pick the trade. You start. No, don't do that. Don't do that at all. So what you do is you do your own thing. If you have $100, trade one coin. If you have $200, coin. Oh dear Lord. Our screen has oh, the network is sorry today. Okay. You can still hear me, Abby?
Yes, ma'am. Please, ma'am, I drop a question at the chat box before you leave, ma'am.
That's not what we are saying. Can you still hear me?
Yes,
we
ma'am.
can hear you.
Okay, let me start sharing my screen before I start looking for, because you need to see what I'm doing. I will see the chat box, but please let me just quickly share because time is really now against us. And I need you to understand fully well. Can you see my screen now?
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
Some people are saying yes, some people are saying not yet.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
can
I
see
can
your
see
screen,
it.
ma'am.
I
We
can
can
see
see
it
your
from
screen,
my
ma'am.
end.
Okay.
I can see
Professor,
your screen.
all right. Please, Ma, can we trade the highest low value coins without analysis? And at what time frame can we trade it? And do we need to enter the trade at 1 a.m.? Thank you, Ma, for your time and efforts. By God's grace, you are going to be part of our success stories in the business. Amen. Okay. So why I'm giving you the highest low is because you don't need too much of analysis. And I think I said that much, that the analysis had been done. It's something that people have done over time since 2021, and it pays. I still do it when I feel lazy and I don't want to do any technical analysis. I just go pick the highest, lowest coin or whatever you want to call it. I put it on, and I take, if it's over 6%, I take my 3% as the. But please trade conservatively. Don't go and put all your coins and then start, but it will deliver. Do you understand? So instead of 3%, you can start with 2.5% to test the market. But before you pick the coin as well, make sure that you go and read the news around such coins. I hope you understand what I'm saying, madam. Read, and everybody, read the news
Yes, ma'am.
around such coins. Because some coins are just shit coins. Some coins are not so good. Some coins will not pump. Some coins have several issues. But some, they have good news around them that will make them to pump on time. This will help you. This will help you because so many people will be looking out for such coins too. You don't want to trade coins that many people don't have interest in. And the more interest people have in coins, the more volume it has. And then, when something has volume, it will pump. I hope you understand that. So you don't really need to
Yes,
do
ma'am.
technical analysis as such, but you will need to have the setup properly done, the strategy setting. I'll probably post the strategy setting. God will give me time, Sha. I'll probably post the strategy setting in the group. Okay, so let's quickly look at margin configuration that is confusing a lot of people. Now, was it Muti that gave us trading capital?
Yes, ma. Muti. Yes,
Okay, so your trading capital is 350, and we said your first buying amount will be 50. Are we correct or correct? Yeah, is that correct?
No, she set it to 15 for me. 15. 1-5.
How can it be 15? 350, 15% of
It's
350.
52.5.
So I said 50. Okay, you want us to do it at 15, Abby?
No, 52.5. I thought you asked that. What do I have? It's 52.5.
I said 52.5, but I had already said let's use 50 as the first buying amount. I hope you understand what first buying amount is.
The amount you are starting the trading with. Is that it, man?
The amount is to buy as soon as it enters the market. So that's your first buying amount. You are telling the robots, when you want this coin that you are going to trade for me, buy 50 USDT. Don't spend my whole $350. Just buy 50. We are now going to buy the rest using margin calls. Is that understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we put $50 there. This is for a 350 trading capital. Remember to switch off the open position doubles. You don't want the robot to buy double, double, double. Do we understand it to that extent?
Yes, ma.
I said switch on your AI margin call. Oh, the battery is low. Okay. Switch on your AI margin call because, yeah, you will stay longer in the market, but it will also control how your robot buys the margin calls. So switch it on. At least until you get used to your market, to the coins, and you can say, okay, I don't need your AI margin call. Because these days I don't switch on my AI margin call because I can manipulate the robot. When I see that it's buying too high, I know what to do. But to be on the safe side, switch on your AI margin call. Then now, when you have 350 and you have already told the robot to buy 50, that means 350 minus 50, 300. 300 divided by 50. I'm going to teach you as time goes on how you can even change this your 50 to lower figure so that you can have more margin calls, but we can't go into that tonight. Let's just stick to this. You can still tweak anything so that you can have more margin calls. And I hope you also know that you can use lesser amounts. As a matter of fact, let us use lesser amounts because I know you will go and use this strategy. So let's say you have $20 as your first buying amount. So let's minus 300 from this. I mean, we minus 20 from 300, you have $280. So this $280, you divide it by 20. That would be your margin calls. So you have 14 margin calls. The more margin calls you have, the more money you are making. I hope you understand that. The more margin calls you have, the more money you are making, because what margin calls is doing, if it goes against you, it is buying more and more money is coming into this coin. And as it is buying, it can also be selling those sub cells. Aisha, that's what we are saying. Those positions, those sub cells, it can be selling them and it will be returning money for you every day,
Okay,
every
ma.
time it sells. So these 14 sub cells now, these are the margin calls. We say we want to take, if we take the lowest, we want to take 3%. And then I said, your old position take profit callback, put it at 0.01. Then the margin configuration, you will see that it has changed to the number we put there now, 14. We now have 14 calls.
Hello, ma.
Hello, ma. I think our network, or maybe she has gone for the meeting.
Oh, I even thought I'm the only one. I didn't
No,
want to
I can't
disturb.
hear her.
We
She's
are still
typing.
remaining here. So
She's typing. Be looking at the screen.
okay, I think she's still sharing the screen. Let's wait.
Okay.
Let's wait and see whether she's coming back.
Oh, yeah. All right. I don't think she knows we can't hear her.
My sister, I think we can just be practicing what she has just told us now.
Okay.
Like let's look at coin with negative value.
Okay.
Like for example, now when I check the RoyalQ, I saw that hard, HARD, is in minus 9.
You guys,
she's
wait. She's
back.
teaching us this margin call. Don't let us jump the horse.
That's what I want to say because I don't even understand what she was trying to say. I'm also new.
Okay, me, I understand the margin calls that she's talking about. I understand the margin calls. So maybe we can talk about it
Okay.
later.
Okay, me, I don't understand margin call.
I understand it.
Please, what is your name? The person that understands.
Professor Makinde.
Okay, Prof. Okay, I will note it down. Prof, I'll go and look for.
Prof, that means we'll come and disturb you, be that.
We are all newbie, but you know, the essence is for us to just help ourselves such that
Yes,
we can
yes,
become guru too.
yes.
So now, if you have set up the settings, is it your screen that we are looking at now?
No,
We're
it's
looking
the
at
instructor
okay.
screen.
We're still looking at the coach screen.
I think we should let her know it's not nice that we just keep quiet. She's there talking.
Ma,
She
we
doesn't...
can't hear you.
Maybe we should type.
Okay. Okay. Me, I've typed.
I've also typed.
I read profits. So I just want to say that hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, you can hear me.
Yes.
So I just want to say that from what she taught us now, I have just tried that hard that I'm telling you now. So it gave me 1.something% within like 2-3 minutes. I mean, just this time now that we are talking, but I put little money, you understand? So it gave
Can
me
you
1.
people hear me? You are just talking
Yes,
to
ma.
yourself. Oh.
I said, welcome,
We
ma.
could not hear
We
you, ma. We couldn't hear you.
But you can. Did you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, I see your screen now, ma. Thank you, ma. Welcome, ma.
Welcome, ma. We can now see you.
Welcome from where?
And you went,
Okay,
you went
so
to buy the whole of province in Canada.
it's my network. Oh, I was talking, and
We
you
could
people
not
were
hear
not hearing me. Maybe
We thought you were buying all the province in Canada already, ma.
you are not well. So you know that I want to buy Canada. You don't want to buy with me? I better come. Oh, let's buy
I want
together.
to buy you.
Oh dear. So you people are on my case. So you know that I want to buy Canada. Okay, so we were actually on the strategy setting. I didn't know that you were not hearing me.
Oh, yeah.
And I saved that strategy for her. So we can just look at it again. This is the highest low we are talking about.
Okay.
See, this was where we were, right? The highest low value. So 20 as first buying amount, 14 as the margin call limit, 3% as our profits, I think I switched myself off. That's why you didn't hear me. I was talking to the other meeting. Sorry about that. Although I was still doing what I was doing on the screen here, but I needed to talk to them on another phone that I'm stuck here because I want to finish what I have started here. I would talk to them by 8 p.m.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. We appreciate.
Okay, so but you have seen all these settings, Abby?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand the settings?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Easy. Please, can you
I
take it back to
overheard
the...
her saying that she has made 1.5% in trade just now.
I was just trying to give the good news. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, so the 1.5%, you must pay your tithes. I like to collect tithes.
You deserve it, ma'am.
Ma'am, sorry, ma'am. Please, can you take us back to the margin call limit so I can have a view of it, please, ma'am?
Back there, oh, we are going back there. I just wanted you people to relax a little bit because I can see that people are worked up. I overheard Aisha saying, I don't even understand anything she's saying about margin call. And I also overheard Muti saying, margin call self, I don't understand. Who understands it to come and teach us? Now, margin configuration is what you do to be able to trade properly in cryptocurrency trade, in the spot trading. Okay? So when you say you are doing margin configuration, what you are trying to do is to allocate your resources appropriately. Remember, we said that cryptocurrencies are very volatile. Some are very volatile, some are a bit stable, like USDT is a stable coin. I think ETH is also stable. BTC can be stable, it can be sporadic, it can be everywhere. And incidentally, that's the mother of all coins. So when it goes up, other coins go up. When it comes down, they follow BTC down. So, but USDT is a stable coin, no doubt. So now, this margin configuration, the one we call the margin, let's get it clear. Margin call drop, the one on the left, is the percentage that you are looking at that if these coins, during this volatility that they are talking about, if it drops by this particular percentage, robots, buy more coins for me. Because the whole essence of RoyalQ is to buy low when the price is low and then to sell when the price is high. Do we get that? Just unmute yourself. You understand that. That is all RoyalQ is meant to be doing. That is what we are doing in RoyalQ. That is why RoyalQ is amazing, because it will never lose. It will never lose a trade. When we go to the market to sell our shoes and bags as well, we are looking at buying at a cheaper price. That's why some people in Kaduna State will come and buy imitation jewelry in Lagos, and then they carry this to Kaduna. They could have bought in Kaduna, but it's going to probably be more expensive in Kaduna. And so they will come and buy in Lagos that is cheaper. And then they will go and sell at a higher price in Kaduna or wherever. This is why we go to Rome to buy shoes and bags, and then we bring them back. We go after low costs. That is the same thing this robot is doing by you putting margin calls. When it goes down, because coins must go down. So, in fact, when you take a coin that is going to go up, it will first go down. And this is why we keep saying what goes down must come up. And what goes up must come down. It cannot continually be up, it must come down. Volatility is the game in cryptocurrencies. If it is not volatile, then it is not a crypto. I must have said this to you more than 10 times in the course of this training, because that's the fact. You have to have it at the back of your mind. And when it goes down, it is a plus for us because it's going to buy more. Let's look at it this way. So maybe I buy a bar of gold for $10. And then tomorrow, I go to the market. I plan going to the market tomorrow to buy more bars. I still have more money. Just as for Muti now, we have spent $20. We have told the robot to buy $20. Let's imagine that it is gold that this robot is buying for $20. It has bought it today for $20. Then it goes to the market tomorrow, and it has the mind of selling this gold at 3% profit. That is 3% of $20. It's not going to be 3% of your $350. Oh. It is 3% of what you have in the market, which is $20. Do we understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Because it's $20 that you have put on that coin. It's not the whole of your money. Okay? So now, if the robot goes to the market the next day to buy this same gold, and it has fallen in price to $15, the most sensible thing for the robot or for anybody to do is to do what? Tell me, what should it do? You bought something for $20. You get to the market, you want to sell it at 20 plus 2%. 2% of 20, if my math is still good now, that would be 40 over 100. That would be 1 over 25. That's 0.25. So ordinarily, the robot will have sold. The robot, you bought it at $20. You want to sell at 20% of 20. That's $20 because that's what you have in the trade. Okay. So, but now you get to the market the next day, and you are now seeing this thing. It has gone down. That's what the margin configuration is all about. When the market goes against you, when it goes down, when the price drops. Okay. So now
Yes.
you now get to the market, and the same bar of gold is now $15. What would you do? What's the most sensible things to do?
I will wait because I don't want to lose my money. So I'll just go back home and wait for it to go back up.
Wow. You will wait?
It has dropped.
Yes.
The price has dropped. You've gone to the market. In the market,
No,
what do
I
they
will
do
buy
in the
more.
market?
I will buy more as it has dropped.
That's the most sensible thing to do. You cannot go back home now. Going back home, that means that you are just looking. You are not going to trade anything. In the market, you do two things. What do we do in the market?
Buy and sell.
Buy and sell.
We buy and we sell. So you've gone to the market, you want to sell. So in this case now, the RoyalQ robot has bought $20 worth of the coin you have sent it to buy. To now sell in the market, prices have dropped. If prices have dropped, it will be senseless for RoyalQ to sell at a lower price. That's a loss. It has not been configured to sell at a loss. So it will buy more. So in this buying more, how much more will it buy? This is where margin configuration comes in. Do we get it now?
Okay, yes.
Mama, you are too much.
Okay.
Perfect.
So this is where margin configuration now comes in. And this is where we now have margin call drop. So you are now saying, if you go to that market and what we have bought for $20 has been reduced in prices by 0.22% by one more time.
Okay.
Do we get it now?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes,
Robert will now put another $20 on that coin.
Okay.
When it drops by 0.22%, multiple buying ratio is the amount it is buying. This is why we divided our money.
Yes.
We
Okay.
divided the balance we had. into the number of your first buying amount, $20. So each time it drops, by all the figures we have put on this side of margin call drops, the robots will keep buying one time. That's what we have configured. You can also say it should buy 0.5 times. 0.5 times means that it will be 0.5 times 20. That means it will buy $10. It's up to you.
Okay.
But the calculations we have done now is for one time, which is $20. This is why we have 14 drops. Is it understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Are we learning?
Yes, so much.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is what it is that they are calling margin call drops. It will be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. You have to put it there. Don't be lazy, because you can see now that we still saw 64 and 124 in between. And the others are still 1, 1, 1, no. But those ones were still there. Do we get it now?
Yes, ma'am.
This is all what margin configuration and margin calls are all about.
Okay.
So when this market drops against you by 0.22%, the robot will buy $20. That is 1 times 20, $20. Second call, it drops by 0.33, $20. It buys another one. It doesn't mean that all your trades must drop. Sometimes you are blessed and highly lifted. You enter the market, it drops just small. It's not even up to 0.22. So it won't buy anything, because it's when it gets to 0.22% that it will buy.
It will buy, yes.
So it keeps going up and up and up and up. Then it clocks your 3% profit. If it goes and it doesn't drop back to the holdback take profit that you put at 0.01, if it's a pumping coin, it can continue to grow, to go up. It can continue to go up. It can go up to 400%. It depends on the coin and it depends on the pump. Those are the kind of coins I'm always praying for when I wake up in the morning. Coins that I want to take 5% and they will shoot up to, I'm looking for 1,000,000%. So I will just go, and the Igbos will say, Zukwani Keabi, I will go and cool down so that I may not trade the next days. I will just, if 100% pumped for me on $1,000 trade, that's a lot. Anyway, that's the wishes were horses. I mean, horses were wishes, whatever. Anyway, so do we understand this now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you,
That
ma'am.
was why I brought in the issue of tithes when I came in, so that you can relax, because these things are very simple. We just need to have that mindset that we can get it. And then we need somebody to break it down to tell us. Once we get it right, it is very simple. You can see it now, or is it not simple? And it is very sweet.
Yes,
because when
ma'am.
you make money, I mean, on my phone, in my house, I cross my leg, and I'm able to make $200 on a coin, that's a lot. $200 times 1,700 is a lot. I was in church on Sunday, and before I left for set up a trade, before I finished church, I'd already made I just shut down. I said, today is for thank God. Let me go and sleep. I mean, that's a lot, $35 in this economy. On the first day of November, I wanted to start the month in a good way. So 30th to 1st, I didn't really have a good sleep. I was trying to analyze a certain coin, trying to look at what would happen and all of that. With God, I put it on. On the 1st, on one coin, I made $266. Just one coin as profit.
Wow.
That's a lot. It's still the same, RoyalQ. It's still, I know some people will say it's because you are trading with a large capital.
Yes.
It doesn't matter the capital you are trading. It's the strategy that you put into it, how you monitor it, how you do your allocation, this allocation that we are doing. Because that same coin, I put in margin configuration, I put margin calls. It's finished spending the margin calls. I added more. Because I look at it that today is today. On the 1st of November, me, I'm not going to carry last. I added more margin calls. This is why I keep telling you, the more margin calls you have, the more money you make. Okay? So now that we have said this, we will remember to put sure. If you don't put sure, I'm sure that's configuration you have, Muti. That's not what was set up for you. Maybe you came back to margin configuration and you didn't remember.
That was what was set up for me, Mao. That was what was set up for me.
Okay. So you put sure. You make sure that is saving the margin configuration. Okay? So now we've already explained what old position take profit callback is. Put it at 0.01. What you are saying is that if this thing is selling and it makes the 3% and it wants to retrace, that is, it wants to go back, once it touches 0.01, please sell. Don't let it drop more than that. So you can still have your 3%. So ideally, you should even put this your 3% as 3.01. You can put it as 3.01. So what that means when you put this at 0.012 is that when it gets to 3.01 and it drops, just take the profit so it can give you your 3%. Is that clear?
Yes, ma.
Okay. Thank God. It's only one person that I'm hearing saying it is clear.
Yes, ma. Thank you, ma.
Okay. So when you now get to your buy-in callback, that's the only one we've not touched. Your buy-in callback, I put it at 0.01. What this means is that after buying this first call, after buying how much percentage to buy the second call? You don't want to wait forever now before it buys the second call, Abi? So you put it at 0.01. When it's 0.01, that's why you see that when it picks the first call, almost like immediately, depending on what you put your buy-in callback, it will pick up. If you put it at like 0.01, it will pick up on time. If you put it at 0.1, it will lag a little bit more than if you put it at 0.01. But me, I've entered the market. I want to quickly get out of the market. So I'll put it at 0.01. Now, this is where Aisha doesn't understand or did not understand. I believe you understand it now. In RoyalQ, all these your margin calls, we have 14 margin calls now.
Yes.
Now, and we saw all those margin calls in the margin configuration. They are all here. The 14 calls are here. You will see that I will still need to press sure if I don't want us to lose that settings. If we don't want to lose the setting. Now, when you now get to distributed and take profit allocation, you are going to see those calls, all those calls we saw, the 14 calls, that's what you are seeing here as sub positions. But it's going to start from the 5th call because in RoyalQ, the very first 4 positions are sold at once. Okay. Do we understand that? They are bought. Once it drops to the 0.01 that we put at callback, they are going to be bought together like it's been bought together when it's 0.01. And when they are going to be sold, they are going to be sold together. The 4 positions will be sold together. And then with your first buying amount, and that is where your profit will be given to you if there is no margin call drop sold. So now, this distributed and take profit allocation are the margin call drops. These are the margin call drops, the remaining call drops after the first 4 positions had been taken off. That is why you are seeing it starting from the 5th position. Do you understand it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So by default, what you are saying is that that fifth position, the fifth position to 14th positions, they are going to be sold individually. They are going to be bought individually. Remember, you've set it that if it drops by 0.22, buy. If it drops by 0.5, buy. If it drops by 1.0, buy. If it drops by 3.5, buy. Those are the positions. So when they are being bought, they will be sold singularly, independently. So the fifth position that you have instructed the robot to buy here, let's go back to margin configuration. This fifth position,
This
you said
0.5.
when it drops by 0.5, buy one time. This one time means buy $20. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Remember, our first buying amount is $20. So you are saying
Yes.
buy one more time for me. So this $20 bought here is what is being referred to as the fifth subcell. This fifth call is the fifth subcell in that place.
Okay.
Do you get it now?
Yes, ma'am.
The fifth margin
Yes,
call
yes.
to 14th margin call, those are the subcells you are seeing here.
Okay.
And what this means is that when that position you bought at $20 in this fifth sub position, in that your fifth margin call, when it is bought, that $20, when the robot wants to sell it, you want it to take profit for you at 1.3%.
Yes.
Do you get it now?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is why you can be even in the deep and you will be making profits, because these subcells are being sold at these percentages and you will be making profits.
Profit.
So it's the person that do not trade with margin calls that will be a loser. Always do your allocation to involve margin calls. You can see now we are sharing $300 to so many positions. It's possible. Your $100 you can put into so many positions. This $300, if we have chosen to do the first buying amount to be $50, we will not have as many positions as this, and we can still sail through with this call, with the trade, but you are not as safe as the person who has opened many margin calls. And you are not likely to make more than this person that has opened many margin calls. Am I understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Are we all okay now?
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Can we train this to others?
Yes, ma.
We can explain
Very
to
well.
others, because the whole essence is that
Explain.
I don't have to be the one doing it again. If we all decide on that platform, we can keep the platform on, so many more people can join. And when we decide that we want to do this training, one of us will take it up. And maybe before we close, I will show you how to share your screen. I will teach you how to share your screen, because I can see that
Thank you.
most of you,
Okay,
all
ma'am.
of you, do not know how to share your screen. So we still say sure, because we have seen all the sub positions. The default is 1.3%. If some people want to do a Jukokoro, they can go and change to 1.5%. That would be their luck. So I click on sure, and that's we have saved.
Saved.
The strategy period is one shot. You will see it open as cycle. Remember, I told you about what cycle can do to you when we started this call. When
Yes,
the
ma'am.
market changes, you won't know. So it's better for us to trade with one shot. So that's one shot, and then we save. Okay? So you can see that I have it now in my strategy setting. That's strategy. So what I'm going to do now, because I have it here, I will use it. I can still use it. I'm going to put $300 because I have many. This is just for my own reference. You can do that if that is what you want. Because sometimes, depending on what I have left, because like if I have money in the deep, if I have coins in the deep, if I have $300, I can still trade. If I have $200, I can still trade. If I have $100, I can still trade. But the wisest thing to do, if you have trades in the dip and you have some money, you can go and open more margin calls so that it can buy more and you put more money in the trade. You may not know how to do that just yet, but it's one step after the other. So I want to save this now as 300 highest low value coins so that I can understand it better if this is what I want to trade. Okay, that is my remark for this trade, and I will save. Now, how do you pick those coins? If it's because Prof cannot share her screen now because she has picked, and that's a good one. All you need to do is you go home. If you have not added all these coins, you can click on plus. I hope we have all added the coins. If we have not, you can click on plus. Plus means that you want to add all the coins, and then you click on them and you say you want to add all. Because I have added all my own coins in this exchange that trade in RoyalQ, it will show me that here I want to remove. You can see remove on the other side. But in your own, if you have not added, you will see add. So you can click on it and add all the coins. That's how to add the coins trading from your exchange to RoyalQ. I hope we got that right.
Yes, ma'am.
So we go back to our coins. So look at change. To the extreme right, under the search, you can see the plus. Under the plus, you have the search.
Yes.
Sorry about that. My hand. So that's my pen that I've been looking for all this while. Thank God I found you. All right, so you will click on the coin that you want to trade. There's something wrong with my annotation today.
Sorry, ma. Please, how do we know which coin to pick?
I was actually going there.
Oh, sorry.
So this is it. On and below plus, you can see plus. Can you see plus?
Yes.
Okay. You can see search.
Yes, ma.
Then under search, you can see change.
Yes, ma.
In front of change, you have two arrows.
Yes, ma.
One pointing up, one pointing down.
Pointing down. Yes.
Okay. So if you click on the one down, you can see that it has changed. The coins that you are seeing now are green up there.
Yes, ma.
Okay. If you toggle those arrows to the upper one, you can see that these are now negative.
Red. Yes.
Okay. So you toggle it back.
Okay. Yes.
In front, all these ones that you can see in the front, they are the coins that are on the top gainers. That's why they are green. We also have top gainer strategy. So if we are using top gainer strategy, you will do your settings to be top gainer strategy. So if it's top gainer strategy, you will click on the uppermost. You can choose any of the top gainers. So I want to show you the top gainers, and then we go to the lowest low that we have set the strategy up for. But for top gainer strategy, we also use that a lot in our structure. You look at these coins that are top gainers that are green. Let's look at rare, for instance. So I click on rare. It will take me to this. It's trading view. This is the view on RoyalQ. Okay, if you want to do top gainer strategy, there are two things you need to look at. Remember, I also talked to you about indicators. These ones down here, all these ones down here, they are indicators.
Okay.
MA, Bollinger, volume, MACD, KDJ, RSI, those are indicators. Can you see them?
Yes, ma.
Okay.
Yes,
In the top gainer strategy, the two indicators we use, I left these ones there because I normally use RSI, volume, and the Bollinger bands to do my picking. But let's just keep it very simple. We normally use Bollinger band and KDJ.
Okay.
We use Bollinger band and KDJ. Let me take off the volume. So these are the two indicators we use when we are doing the top gainer strategy. That is, we are picking the top gainers coins.
Okay.
And this KDJ, this one down here is the KDJ. Sorry, this is the KDJ. This one here. This one here. Somebody is writing on my screen. Be very careful. Don't use my screen to test your annotation. Okay, so the one down here is KDJ, and the three lines up there are the Bollinger bands. Okay, these are the two we use in picking coins. When this KDJ, when you see this purple line, this one that is down now, this one here.
Yes.
The one down here, that's the KDJ. When you see this purple line that is on top, that is low, the lowest of the three lines. When you see it crossing the two lines, the other two lines, and its edge is up. Let me see if I can get, hold on a minute. Let me see if I can get that picture. So that I can show you real time how they should look. I know I taught it on Saturday, so it should still be here. Okay, that's it right there. Can you see it? Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma.
Okay.
Yes, ma.
So this is my network is horrible. I hope I'm back.
Yes, you are back. You are back.
Yes, you're back, but we can't see the screen. We can hear you.
It went off with me.
Oh,
I have to start the sharing again. Okay, so this is a good place to start. When you want to share, let me now tell you, when you want to share, you go to that place, that arrow where they put share. Okay? When you click on it, you will see Microsoft's, I mean, in my own, I'll see Microsoft OneDrive, all of those things, box, photo, image from file, documents. But you want to you want to share your screen, you want to screen share, or you want to share screen or whatever. So you click on screen.
Screen. Okay, yes.
So it tells you, are you following me as I'm going?
Yes.
Okay. So it tells you, start now.
Yes.
And that's just it.
Okay.
Is it simple?
Yes, ma.
Very simple.
Yes.
Okay. So right now,
sorry, ma, sorry to cut you short, ma. That was what I did, but you didn't do. Start now. That was the process I did.
Okay. So now I was sharing something for you in gallery. Please, let's go on. I was sharing something for you in gallery, and let's go back there so that you can understand the top gainers coin better. The top gainers coin, you pick on the one that is in green. And so when you pick it, you want to look at the KDJ line and the, in fact, let's even share this as well. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. These are the rules for top gainers strategy. Picking up top gainers strategy. In KDJ, you look at that KDJ, that's indicator that was down. We'll look at it again. In KDJ, the yellow line represents the K line, the pink line represents the D line, while the purple represents the J. So when the J line crosses the K and the D, then it indicates there might be a pump, especially if a new green candle has been formed. So you look out for a new green candle, then the KDJ, the J line, that is the purple line, must be crossing the remaining two lines, that is the K and the D lines. Then you can know that you can go ahead and pick the, let me show you the pictorial, the picture I was showing you the other time. Okay, so I'm not saying it again. I think I showed you the other time. I'm not saying it again, so let's go back. Let's go back to our sharing. So remember how we pick the coins?
Yes, ma'am.
We toggle the line, the small arrows in front, and then we wanted to pick rare, but rare didn't actually fit in. So let's look at arc. The KDJ2 is not working here. Before you can pick any trade for top gainer strategy, the KDJ, yes, that purple line must shoot out, and it must look out like the head must be pointing up like a snake that wants to strike. That's the number one condition. Then, you know, lowest line, you know, the lowest line of the Bollinger Band. These ones are the Bollinger Bands, and the lowest one is this one. So the candle, I hope you know that all these things are candles. They are the price actions. It must be taken off from here, going up, or at worst, maybe taken up from here. Even if you are now saying, this last candle is taken up from the second line of the Bollinger Band, but then the KDJ does not meet the condition because that J line, the purple line, is not looking up. The purple line is not crossing the two lines, so we cannot trade this coin. That's what it means. Okay? So you go back again. You go and look for another one. That is what it is if you want to trade with top gainers coins. You keep going back to look at the one that will fit. You see the KDJ here? Can you see it? Can you see the purple line is looking up?
Yes, ma'am.
It has crossed the other two lines and is looking up.
It's looking up, yes.
But for me, I may not go into this trade But it's okay for the KDJ, I mean, for the top gainer strategy, the conditions, but I will always look for a green candle formation. But this one now, this is because I have now understood candle formation. This candle that is forming is not showing us anything about this trade, but this is a training for another day. Let's just take it that you can take it because it is going up. You can pick this trade, or you want to go back and look at the one that would totally satisfy the top gainer strategy. This one, it has satisfied the KDJ, but this one has gone because it has gone past our first line, our second line of the Bollinger Band. Okay, this is why I, as a person, I prefer trading the lowest priced coin because I won't have to be going back and forth. I will just go all the way down, all the way down. Look at them, they are here. COK. It's just that one, when you look at, this is why I say you should look at the news surrounding all these coins. Look at that OK is to be delisted though. Can you see it there?
Yes, ma'am.
KP3R is to be delisted, so don't trade them. UNFI is to be deleted. Don't trade them. Now let's look at MK. Let's look at AD. We can look at AD. We can look at RPL. But let's look at AD. I like AD as a coin because when it pumps real hard. I also like PSG. I like Troy. But let's look at AD. Okay, so when I pick this AD, I don't have to do any, I'm not going to start looking for any KDJ or anything. And you can see it, you see where the formation is, see the other candle. If you understand how candle is formed, you will see what is going on here. This is looking up. That last candle is looking up. It's showing that the sellers, I mean the buyers are the green candles and the sellers are the red candles. It's showing us that the buyers are trying to get into the market. And what that means is profit. So, but you don't even need to do too many analyses when you are using the lowest coins. I mean, that is down is fair, no fall. So you just go on create. That's how we pick trades. You create. Then you get to Martingale. If this your own is not highlighted, you highlight Martingale strategy bots, and then you click on create again. Okay. This is AD. I'm trading AD already. So I'm not going to be able to continue with this. But what you do now is that you go to your trade setting. Remember, we had our setting already made the other time. You can see how many margin calls I'm trading this with. I'm trading it with 25 margin calls. So you see, I am not teaching you what I am not doing. And so I have 5 as my 5 buy-in amount because I am opening so many margin calls. So when you get here in your own, you will click on choose a strategy setting. Okay, so in your own now, you will have smart create and then you will have manually create. Is that what you have? If you are following me?
Yes, ma'am.
So you click on manually create. Click on that. When you click on manually create, you will see your templates like this. Is that what you are seeing?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you now click on choose a strategy setting. If you had saved that strategy setting that for you, if I click on choose strategy setting now, you see all my strategies. Can you see them? The one I did just now is the one that is high up there, where you have the first buying amount as $20 and you have margin call limit as 14. Can you see? Somebody should confirm, please.
Yes,
It's already
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but I'm not going to choose that. But you, if you have saved that, that's what you will now choose. You just click on it. Once you click on anywhere in it, it will show here. And then you will go and see, you'll be sure that your first buying amount is what you have put there, because sometimes it changes. So you put your 20 there. So you put it there as 20. Your margin call, everything will be intact. Every other thing will be intact. But you are likely to have a change of your first buying amount, which you should put there. And your whole position take profit may also change. You can change it and then you save. Okay?
Yes,
so
ma.
that's it. Now, I am trading this coin with $500. What has gone into it already is about $226. And you can see that when you want to see what has gone into a coin, this is where you look at. You will look at 226. You see that money, that's what is in it now. But it still has so many other calls to buy for it to get to my 500 if it is still going down. Do you get it now? I'm likely going to open more margin calls.
Yes, ma'am.
And then when you now want to choose your, when you want to choose your strategy, see, this is where you come to. You come to this place where you are seeing sub-bin mode. I'm trading this in sub-bin mode. Explanation of sub-bin mode, or warehouse, sub-bin mode, real-time settlements is already on the platform. I remember teaching that on the platform, and I put it there so you can go back and see that. So now I can change this to sub-bin mode, real-time settlements. If I want to be seeing my profits per minute, per second. It is selling those sub-cells that I talked to you about. It will be giving me the profits. Let's stop this place. I hope you have been able to understand what is important. You're able to pick your trades, and you have gained some strategy settings that you can use. You have already known some strategy settings that you can use while on your trade.
Yes, ma. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We are very grateful.
We're very grateful, ma.
We thank God for absolutely everything. I wanted to see, the Zoom meeting has started. If you need to join Zoom now, you need to join Zoom, because Zoom was, shifted to today. So I have stopped my sharing. Do you have any questions so that we can quickly take that and we call it a day?
Please, ma, let's kindly help us keep this group so that we can continue to learn.
Okay.
Honestly, ma, that's what I wanted to say. Me, I don't even mind paying, to be honest.
You don't have
Just
to pay.
encourage you.
No,
honestly, this is the best thing.
Nobody needs to pay.
Sorry, ma. Let me ask, I want to ask question, ma.
All right.
I noticed that the one that you opened now, you did not click on the what was it? This margin, AI margin call. You didn't highlight it. Does it matter? Like we newbies, we should always highlight it, right?
If it is what you want to do. Okay. When I was teaching that, I also said that much. I said it is okay for you to put it on. Okay, tell me, what did I say it does? What's the job of the AI margin? When you put it on, what does it do?
That is, it helps in controlling how the AI will be buying for you. It should not just be doing it anyhow. Okay,
so it controls the purchase. But because, like I told you when I was explaining it, I also told you that when you've learned, when you understand your robots better, there are certain things you will stop doing. That's why you saw that I didn't put it on. I want to get out of the market fast enough. And I know what to do if the robot is buying unnecessarily. So that's why I switched that off. If it's in a situation that I'm not paying attention to my robots, I will put it on. I still use it. It's not that I've outgrown using it. No, I still use it. But right now, I have an eye on my trades. So if I see that this robot is just going and buying and buying and buying, and it's just spending my money anyhow, I'll go and switch it on. But if I know, excuse me, if I know that, oh, this thing is on, I'm staying too long in this market, I'll go and switch it off.
Okay.
Do you understand it now?
Yes, ma. I understand, ma. Can we take trade at a time? It has to be one at a time.
Okay, so I will advise you. That I was explaining that do not overtrade. I said that much to you. I said don't overtrade. Overtrading means that you just go to the market anyhow. When they call one coin like that, you will jump into it. I'm looking at $100 that I still have $100 in my capital. Let me go and use it. You have forgotten that you have set a trade. Like Mutin now, that trade that we set up, that strategy that we set up, if you are going to trade one coin, it's going to finish your $300. That's what you have set up. If the market goes against you to the tune of all those markets, all those margin calls that we set, you are going to need your $300. And the fact that the robot has not yet started buying the margin calls, and you are seeing $200 in your exchange, doesn't mean that you should go and put it on another coin. That is overtrading. Because when this coin that you have now picked, when it's now trading, and it now needs to buy the margin calls, it won't have money again. Then you will now stay in the deep in floating losses, because you have already set your trade that it will drop by this number of calls, but you have gone ahead to spend the money that the robot is supposed to use to trade. So it's like you sending a little boy to the market. You are saying, buy me 5 loaves of bread at $100 each. Then you call this poor boy back and you say, give me 300 naira out of the 500 I have given you. And you are still saying, boy, go to the market and buy 5 loaves. Is it possible?
No,
please answer me.
No,
it's not possible now. So it's the same thing. That's the way you should look at it. All these things that we are doing is the same market. You go to the market, you buy and you sell. You go to the market, you carry money. You go to the market, you look at what you want to buy. You have to have the money for what you want to buy. It's the same thing. So if you have $100, trade one coin. If you have $200, trade one coin. If you have $500, trade one coin. If you have $1,000, you may look at trading 2 coins. But if you have $100 and you want to trade 2 coins, make sure that you allocate your capital accordingly with your margin calls. So the margin call drops you are having will be the ones that will be suitable for $50, because you want to use $100 to trade 2 coins. I don't know the kind of profit you want to take from such, but that's what you want to do, and it's possible. But I would rather use my $100 to trade 1 coin and get my profits as a bunch. There was a guy that I set up in my structure. That very first day that we set him up on $100 trade, he picked the trade by himself. Oh, well, maybe, okay, let me say, we picked the trade together. And before how many minutes, he came back to say, ma, is this how it works? He had already made $7 from his $100. So all he needs to do is to add the $7 to his first buying amount. So instead of going into the market with $10, he can go in with $17. Then he will go back and change it to $10 when the robot has bought the first buy in amount. But that's a training for another day. Okay, let's call it a date now.
Sorry,
We've
before you go
been,
back, please, I picked 2 trades. So how do I remove one?
you put what?
How do I remove one trade to just make it one trade for now? I've picked 2.
You
So
have
how
to
do
be
I delete
patient
myself?
until the trade sells off. You cannot remove. If you go ahead to remove, you can stop a trade though. You can stop a trade. You can start a trade and you can stop a trade. But you cannot remove a trade. If you want to remove a trade, that means you want to sell it off at a loss. Maybe during the next class, if you are able, we have the set, I want to say the set meeting, the group, our own group meeting on Saturday. You may want to share your screen and then show us or show me the trades, and then we can tell you what you can do about them. But
Okay,
if you
ma,
go
thank you
ahead,
very much.
Ma,
the only
please, I
thing, if
want
you
to be
want to
part of
remove
the
the
group.
trade, that means you want to remove, you want to sell off your trade. You want to sell it off. And when you sell off, if it's in the deep, then if you are in a floating loss, you have now converted your floating loss to a normal loss, which is not what we do in RoyalQ. Okay?
Okay, ma. Thank you, ma.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, ma. We really appreciate me. God bless you.
We
Thank
really
you so
appreciate
much.
you. Thank you so much.
Ma, please, when is the next meeting?
When is the next meeting?
Which meeting? We have already done why we are here. We want to take you around. Is that not what we said?
No, we want more.
We just moved. We've not gone round.
We have not gone around.
Ma, you're a fantastic teacher, ma. A fantastic one.
teacher.
Honestly, ma, God is only God that will bless you
That
for
can
us.
reward you. Thank you.
Honestly,
We
I'm
thank
so
God.
happy. I can literally give you a hug. Honestly, I feel like
Yes.
hugging you
Yeah,
because you've cleared so much.
Give the hug. Don't hold back on the
We are
hug.
sending you hug, love,
We are
and
giving
hug,
you hug
send the
already.
love, send all the
Thank you,
love,
ma.
send all the kisses.
We
I'm
need
here
people like
to
you.
pick
We need
them
more
up.
people like you.
Yes.
No, you should be more people like me. Don't look out for them. Let them be in you.
Yes.
Okay?
By God's grace, by God's
That's
We shall
what
be
it
like
should
you.
be.
Thank you.
Do you understand what I'm saying? It
Yes.
doesn't have to be something we are looking out for. If I had stayed and I'm saying, we need more people like some people. We need more people like some people. I won't take it up to say, oh yeah, come. Let's do
Yes.
this. So this is what you two should do for people. When you learn and you know what it is that we are saying, all that we had wanted to do is the orientation. And I hope you got the orientation correctly, right?
Yes, ma.
Yes, ma. We did, ma.
I have my group's meeting on Saturdays at 11 a.m. Oh, no, we won't be. Oh, I think it's 5 p.m. It's my mentees meeting that I have at 11 a.m. Not RoyalQ mentee, my business, the UN Women mentoring group. I'm a mentor. I mentor both nationally and internationally. So we mentor for some UN Women group. We mentor for many organizations, Sha. So I have that meeting 11 a.m. on Saturdays. But I think maybe you can join our meetings at 5 p.m. if you are free on Saturdays.
On Saturday. Okay. Thank you very much.
Anybody that wants to join should contact me directly so that I can give the link and then we can do this again and again and again. But right now, we really need to go.
Okay, ma. Thank you so much,
bless
ma.
you, ma.
God bless you.
Have
Thank
a
you so
beautiful
much.
night,
We didn't hear anything from Amina. We didn't hear your voice, Dorothy Idem. Please unmute yourself and let us know that you can speak to us. Amina, unmute yourself. Dorothy Idem, unmute yourself. You have been very quiet. I'm not hearing your voice, and I'm not seeing you in the chat box. Dorothy, Idem, and Amina, tell us something. I hope you understood all we thought. Dorothy, you have unmuted yourself now. You can talk. Okay, maybe the network is bad. Amina, talk to us or put something in the chat box. I want to see that you understand. Or anyway, we have the group. Go and tell us what it is on the group. If you can hear me, let us know whether you understood what we went through. Everybody go and drop what you need to drop on the platform. Don't let us even wait too much time here. Drop on the platform, every platform that you are in. If you understood this, if you do not, then we can take it up from there. All right.
Thank you so much, ma. We really appreciate. Thank you.
Really appreciate.
God bless you.
Amen.